The North Shore of Oahu was more than just a location. It was a cathedral of surfing, a place where legends were born and dreams were either fulfilled or crushed against razor-sharp coral reefs and mountains of water that could dwarf entire landscapes. Jake Miller arrived with a history that was both his greatest strength and his most significant vulnerability. He was still the farm boy from Nebraska, an outsider in a world of professional surfers who had been riding waves since childhood. His competitors looked at him with a mixture of curiosity and barely concealed contempt. A novelty, they thought, who would quickly be exposed as an amateur. The International Surfing Championship was more than just a competition. It was a crucible that would determine whether Jake's years of relentless practice and unwavering belief would translate into something real. Marcus Rodriguez, his mentor, understood the stakes better than anyone. A former competitive surfer who had narrowly missed Olympic qualification decades ago, Marcus saw in Jake a second chance, an opportunity to live vicariously through a talent he recognized as extraordinary. It's not just about the technique, Marcus would tell Jake during their intensive training sessions. It's about understanding the ocean, listening to it, becoming part of its rhythm. The week leading up to the championship was a masterclass in preparation. Jake's training regimen was brutal, a combination of physical conditioning, technical practice, and mental preparation that pushed him to his absolute limits. At 5 a.m. each morning, while most competitors were still sleeping, Jake would be in the water. He studied the waves with a farmer's patience and an artist's intuition. Where others saw chaos, he saw patterns. Where others saw obstacles, he saw opportunities. His background as a farmer gave him unique advantages. Years of working with unpredictable weather, understanding subtle environmental shifts, reading landscapes. These skills translated surprisingly well to surfing. He could read water movements with an almost supernatural sensitivity. The first few days of the championship were a test of survival. The waves at North Shore were legendary. Massive structures of water that could reach heights of 30 feet, powerful enough to crush dreams and bodies alike. Jake's first major heat was against Carlos Mendoza, a Brazilian surfing prodigy who had been dominating international competitions for years. Mendoza represented everything Jake was not: smooth, polished, perfectly integrated into the surfing world's elite circles. The morning of their heat, the ocean was temperamental. Massive waves rolled in with a frequency and power that made even experienced surfers nervous. The competition organizers were considering postponing the event. But Jake saw something different. While other surfers saw danger, he saw opportunity. The unpredictable waves reminded him of Nebraska's most challenging harvests, moments where adaptation meant survival. His first ride was a revelation. Where other surfers fought against the wave's energy, Jake seemed to merge with it. His movements were not just technical, they were a conversation, a dance with the most powerful force on the planet. His farm boy strength, combined with years of obsessive practice, created a style that was both unconventional and mesmerizing. The judges, seasoned professionals who had seen thousands of surfers, watched in stunned silence. Carlos Mendoza, watching from the sidelines, felt something shift. This wasn't just another competitor. This was something different. Jake's run wasn't just about winning a heat. It was a statement. A farm boy from the middle of nowhere was rewriting the rules of what was possible. But competition was about consistency. One extraordinary moment meant nothing if it couldn't be repeated. The championship progressed, and Jake's story began to capture international attention. Sports journalists who had initially dismissed him as a novelty began writing stories about the Nebraska surfer, a narrative that was part human interest, part sporting miracle. Sarah Rodriguez, now a rising journalistic talent, was tracking his journey. Her articles about Jake were becoming viral sensations. Stories of determination, of breaking boundaries, of pursuing impossible dreams. "He's more than just a surfer," she would write. "He's a symbol of what happens when you refuse to be defined by your origins." As the championship reached its crucial stages, Jake faced increasingly difficult challenges. Each heat was a battle not just against other surfers, but against the ocean itself, against his own doubts, against the expectations of an entire world that had never believed someone like him could compete at this level. The final stages of the championship would test everything he had learned, everything he believed about himself. But for now, he had proven something fundamental. Dreams are not bound by geography. Talent recognizes no boundaries. And sometimes, the most extraordinary journeys begin in the most unexpected places.